Alright guys, it's another episode of Swift Talk. It's your boy Swift Streams PC, and on this video we're going to be talking about the Marvels. Now, I went to go see the Marvels. I gave my review fresh out of the theater. Basically, I didn't really talk about the problems, but I mostly focused on like what is their target audience right now, because everybody keeps saying superhero fatigue this, superhero fatigue that, but nobody's really factoring in who this movie was made for and did it reach that audience that it's supposed to reach or whatever. So I'm like, I feel like this movie was catered towards like women and girls and all this different stuff. And then I went and checked the stats and all this other stuff on who's going to see these movies. And what you'll notice is that most of the people going to see these movies are men from 25 and up, right? Over 25. And then with the women, it's even lower. In each category of age, it was lower, and they just not showing up. So that tells me, even though there is a balanced number of fans for the MCU for both women and men, is that this character or these characters, they haven't pushed them over enough to get everyone to like them. And then another thing that gets me as well is the fact that, you know, a lot of these characters or whatever, it doesn't really matter the gender. It's the popularity. We don't know. A lot of people don't know, unless they're comic book heads, these characters, right? Because, you know, a lot of the MCU is general audiences that like to go and get into their superhero nerdom every now and then when a Marvel movie was coming out. So, like, everybody knows Iron Man, even if people didn't know Iron Man from Endgame or whatever, how he got to that point. They still knew about him before he was even put out into his own movie. He just wasn't as cool until Robert Downey Jr. made him cool. You know what I'm saying? And so if you keep following that type of thing of this character was known, but they got super well known when an actor grabbed it and turned it into something amazing, then you'll understand that these new characters, they don't even have that. They don't have the notoriety of everybody knowing them. And then not even having an actor that's good enough to portray them, you're going to lose every time. Every time you drop a new character if the actors aren't that great. And then some of this stuff is muddled and need to be in a show. But like I said, we'll talk about that on this episode of Swift Talk. And, you know, we're going to talk about basically like the craziness that happened with the Marvels. Like, I'm talking about from the POC, the political stuff, to all the way to the box office bombing and all of that stuff. So we'll talk about all of that on this Swift Talk.
You know that talk, that Swift Talk, that Swift Talk. You can't understand us, cause you're too soft. Shit, they coking.
Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So if you look here on Rotten Tomatoes, as you can see, the Marvels has gotten a 62%. Now, I don't really like using Rotten Tomatoes, but when Marvel bombs, you have the most honest opinions when it bombs. When it doesn't, right, when it's something that you know should have, right, it's not very honest. But then you can go to other places and see their ratings like IGN or all the other ones, because if Marvel has a rating that's just too high on Rotten Tomatoes, that means you need to go somewhere else to get your information, because they're not being honest. They probably would pay off. I'm just saying. They could have been. But anyways, 62%, 83% audience score. That makes sense because the movie was entertaining. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. The movie was entertaining. Entertaining doesn't mean great. Doesn't mean above mid. It just means that it did what it was supposed to do, and they could have done better. That's all entertaining means when people say that or whatever. And I know they're going to use this, well, the fans liked it because it's got an 83%, but they're not going to say that it got a 62% off of critics who critiquing the film. And this film had a lot of editing problems. There was stuff that was going on where I was like, how did y'all get here? When the heck did that happen? Why didn't y'all spend enough time here? It was a lot of that going on in the film, but none of it had anything to do with Brie Larson. You know, Brie Larson did an amazing job, way better than what we got in Captain Marvel 1. She has weaknesses, vulnerabilities. She's having fun. She's actually being human, not Superman or Superwoman or whatever the heck you want to call her. She was actually being human, and you can see the human side of Captain Marvel in this movie. And then, of course, you got Monica Rambeau. She was in here. She did a very good job as well. She brought even more of that, witty energy or whatever. And she's supposed to be basically getting a little bit of her arc fleshed out with the whole Captain Marvel leaving her and her mom on the planet and then never coming back. But she fairly, when you look into some things that happen, then you will kind of get an understanding. So we are going to talk about spoilers, and I'm talking about spoilers right now. So you've been warned. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so basically what happened is that they do some type of dream walking or whatever with the Kree technology, and then when they do that, you can see that Captain Marvel came back, and that she basically told Monica, like, look, I'm going through some stuff. I don't know when I'm gonna be back, this and that and third. And then so she left and just never came back to come visit Monica. And then when Monica got blipped, her mom, when her mom was on her deathbed, and then she came back, the bed was gone. Like, she was just hurt. So we didn't really get a chance to really soak our teeth really deep into this. And I feel like she either needs her own show or her own movie to really go in depth of what's going on. And yeah, you can have Captain Marvel in there, but I think the reason why this was done was, like I said, to help flesh out her character more, because you only got like a little sprinkle of her in WandaVision. And I was like, dang, I want more. Like, where's the rest? But it wasn't her show, so you can't really do that. But yeah, they fleshed that out, and then, that's part of the editing issues that were going on. Like, they didn't give it enough time to really seep in so you could feel. Make me cry, Marvel. Come on, make me cry. I can do it. You just have to let it sit. Don't go back to having fun and beating people up yet. Let it sit and then go. But this movie was made during the pandemic. This was the Bob Chapek era. So anything that came out of the Bob Chapek era is going to be trash. And the reason why it's going to be trash in different ways, right? It's not necessarily saying the movie's trash, but there's going to be something in it that's trash. The editing here was trash. The characters and the plot and everything else, hey, 2 thumbs up. It was good. The action, 2 thumbs up. Like, everything else is good, but it was just the editing. I'm like, dang, if y'all had added a couple more minutes, this would have been fire. Like, it's 3 women on here that got these amazing powers. This is gonna be fire. But they didn't give enough time to breathe, and so it kind of hurt it a little bit. But we gonna look at some of these comments real quick. So let's start off with the first one, and this is by a woman named Lauren Coates. While the Tuller Marvels make for an enduring woman-centric found family, the film's hyper-awareness of its role in a large universe is its downfall. So, apparently, she didn't like certain parts, because I will say with the whole universe thing, they really showed you that Captain Marvel is well known in the universe, not just on Earth, but in the universe, and that all the other Avengers, nobody knows who the hell they are. They don't even know that they're the ones who beat Thanos, which is wild to me, because this happens after the snap, that they don't know the Avengers was the one that took down Thanos. Like, you would think somebody would know. There was Drax there. There was a whole bunch of other people there. The word should have spread that Earth mightiest heroes beat Thanos, but I don't know. Maybe that's a fly hole. Who knows? Now the next one is The Marvels is so poorly conceived, and this is by James Bardernelli, and ineptly executed that it is not only makes this a front runner for dubious honor of worst movie of the MCU, but a contender for the worst superhero movie of all time. Now I will say, there have been a bunch of incels that rated this movie bad before it even came out, right? They review bombing it before it came out. That rhetoric that he's spitting out is exactly what they say. They don't really have no real understanding of what happened in the film. They don't have an understanding of what they were trying to do with the film. All they focused on is that there's 3 women on screen, and they don't like those 3 women getting all this shine, and they will find any reason to give it a bad rating, even if it was good, right? Doesn't matter. They don't like Captain Marvel because Brie Larson, some things she said. So they don't really have anything to tell you about the film itself to really critique it. They more so going to critique other things that they feel like they need to critique. Now I'm move on to the right. DaCosta made, Cameron Phillips, DaCosta made room for the Marvels to be bright and playful, filled with characters that are impossible not to love. So, I would agree with that. That is a black woman right there, so she's telling you how she felt about it, which a lot of black women I felt liked this movie, regardless if Monica Rambeau was in it. A lot of it is because Miss Marvel is pretty cool. She did a lot of cool things in the movie. Like, she was so adorable. She was a really nice character, just like she was on her own TV show. Now, her TV show is more centered around, like, teenage entertainment. So, it may be a little weird looking at it that way. But at the end of the day, that is what she was doing or whatnot. Now, as far as the other stuff,
this video was sponsored by SavageNerd.com. Visit the website today to get custom t-shirts and so much more. This is brought to you by SwiftStreams PC. Visit SavageNerd.com.
So now we're going to switch over to one of these articles I was reading on. And basically, Deadline, they reported this title right here. The Marvels Meltdown. Disney MCU posts lowest BO box office opening ever at 47 million. What went wrong? Sunday update. So this came out on November 12th, 2023 at 7:58 a.m. So essentially, I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs and then, kind of put y'all on game with what's going on here. So Marvels with an appearance by star Brie Larson. The last minute push for the Marvels with an appearance by Brie Larson on Friday is The Tonight Show, and at a theater MIC actor strike have not moved weekend grosses any higher from Marvel Studio. The Marvels, the film, is posting a 3-day at the bottom of yesterday's estimates with 47 million, the lowest ever for Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe. Don't blame the running time, as Marvel clocks in at 97 minutes versus other MCU picks, which have run times over 2.5 hours. The Marvel Saturday was 15.3 million, 30% against previews Friday of 21.5 million worldwide per Nancy, who will have an update soon, is a 110 million, which is the bottom rug for the MCU, and below 140 million we were forecasting. In regards to U.S. admissions, the Marvels came in per intelligence at 3.3 million. Compared to other superhero bombs, Flash 3.9 million, Eternals 5.5 million. Also the Marvels gets the several post-pandemic B cinema scores from audience from Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, B+, Thor Love and Thunder, B+, Eternals B, Ant-Man and Wasp B. Custom Screen Engine post-track exists are worse at 3.5 starts at 73%. By all accounts and by all sources, it's disastrous result for a $200 million studios movie. But wait, didn't we declare Apple Original Studios and Paramount 200 million killers of the Flower Moon and 44 million a success a few weeks ago? Just sit down, I'll explain it in a bit. The Marvel's misfire is about the rusting of a platinum brand that's in the need of some serious, not polishing, rather resurfacing months ago. Who would have thought that Universal bomb Blumhouse Five Nights at Freddy's 2 weeks ago, and today that debuted on Peacock would post a higher opening at box office 80 million than the Marvels. It's interesting to put the pieces of the IP side by side because it says something about Universal and Disney's ability to harness fans around an event. As we mentioned earlier, there's a maelstrom of reasons why the Marvels didn't work. Many movies be quick to pull out superhero fatigue, but the great comic book movies of the millennia are now seeing their grand demise, just like the big Hollywood musicals of the 1960s. That's bullshit. Superhero fatigue does not exist. People are tired of bad superhero movies and stories. The writers, in my opinion, have checked out way before the strike. You can tell because all of the writing was trash. And then when you factor in what they were paying these people, would you honestly give your all if you knew you was getting bullcrap after you finished it? No, you're going to do just enough to get by. That's what everybody does when they work on any job. Let's be honest here. It's bull crap. Superhero fatigue does not exist. People are tired of bad movies because the whole movie industry is suffering. They even touched on it just a little bit, right? It ain't just superheroes, even though we're talking about that because this is a nerd channel. This is a gaming channel. We're talking about that because this is what it is, right? People are tired of bad movies. They're tired of bad stories being told. So when you fix these things, right, things will get better. So we have until 2025, because I'm about to end here. This is a Swift Talk. We don't talk long on here. When 2025 gets here, everything from the Bob Chapek era would have come out. That's all trash. Even if they rework some of those scripts and do everything they can to fix these movies before they come out, the damage is already done. Okay, so now at this point, we're waiting on Deadpool 3. This should help a lot because don't nobody want to keep watching these kiddie ass movies. We want to see some more darker themes and stuff. We were supposed to get Blade this year. Didn't happen. Why? Because the script was bad. They barely even had Blade in there in his own damn movie. Like I'm getting frustrated. The real ninja in me is coming out now. Because this is ridiculous. Blade, you messed up Blade? Disney. No. No. We're not doing that. Fix it. Please. Please. So that is what the issue is. Bad movies, bad writing. Okay? People are tired of it. They're not getting out. And then the movie theaters is expensive. They're not getting out their bed to go watch these movies. That's why all the women sat down for the Marvels. They're going to watch it on Disney+. You got to cut that window off. You got to make it longer. You need to make people wait a whole year to get it on Disney+. Then they will get up and go watch it because they don't want to get spoiled. That used to be a thing. I used to be able to sit here and go watch something first. Now it doesn't even matter. Because at the end of the day, people don't care. And if they don't care, they're not going to buy. And it don't matter what it is. It could be Star Wars. It could be freaking, I don't know, Saw 5 or something. And it's something crazy that happened in there. If you don't shorten that window from when it comes out in theaters to going to streaming, oh, you're going to be in some trouble. I know you want to keep your subscribers, but you just got to get them shows up and get more original movies up. That's just for the platform. That's what Netflix does. That's how they able to keep everybody. Even me, even though I'm paying for it through my phone service, they only able to keep me because they're doing certain things. So, and let me add also, the other reason why I say superhero fatigue don't exist because Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was a 96% Rotten Tomatoes, 94 audience score. And this film right here did numbers. 381.2 million at the box office. So I don't want to hear that crap, right? This came out in 2023 along with all the other superhero movies that came out that bombed or didn't do very, very well. This is how you have good storytelling. And even if the people were freaking diversity, right? It had a lot of diversity. It had a black man and a white girl. It's in a Hispanic guy for Spider-Man 2099. It still did what it was supposed to do. That's what I'm saying. It's just, this had good writing. It had a good team behind it that cared about the product, right? So they took their time with it. I can't say that for the other superhero movies that came out from DC and Marvel and the MCU and all of that. It just wasn't there. So I'm just saying, I don't want to hear nothing about no superhero fatigue. This right here, and there's another film too. I can't remember what it was, but and stuff like Loki, they did what they were supposed to do. That is how you make good storytelling, when you actually tell a cohesive good story and you give character development to your other characters. It's not that hard. Let it breathe. I cried in this movie. I'm just saying. Let's just keep it 100 now. I want to hear that crap. That's it for this Swift Talk. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Also, I want you guys to leave me with this affirmation. Yesterday was not the end. Today will be your beginning. So, on that note, have a great day. And we'll see you guys on the next Swift Talk.
That Swift Talk, that Swift Talk. You can't understand us, cause you're too soft.
Shit, Charlie Coke.